Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show or an interesting show for you. Let's get right into it. All right, I've got to revise my 2024 schedule that I put out a couple of days ago. Might have even been yesterday. It's been a long weekend. You viewers ripped me over two of these teams that I picked for the Vols, and I mean, it was brutal. The viewers have worn me out over two picks that I made out of the 8, but it's been vicious.
Cut me, Mick.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, cut me.
Yep, cut me, Mick. Definitely cut me. I'm telling you, there was times, there was chairs involved. It was everything. They wore me out, and I'm going to go over the two teams that I'm going to swap out because they made some pretty good points. I really have no choice. I've got to do it. I can't take the grief any longer. All right, now here is the schedule that I came up with for the Vols for 2024. I had Alabama, Kentucky. Nobody seemed to have any trouble with those two. Ole Miss, everybody loved that one. Having old Lane Kiffin involved, everybody wants some revenge on that. Then Vanderbilt, no problem there. Right here's where all the grief started, and they had no trouble with Florida or Auburn. Oklahoma, they didn't like that worth of crap, but this is the one where they just absolutely came over the top rope and got really upset over it.
Now Kane.
So in Oklahoma, what they want is Texas. And the reason they want Texas is the Arch Manning is part of it. The other one is who is the real UT? Who's the king of the U and the T? So I'm going to switch out Oklahoma for Texas, but that wasn't the big problem. The big issue was Mississippi State. I said we have not played Mississippi State in forever. It feels like forever because I have blocked out a lot of the Jeremy Pruitt era because it seems like forever ago to me. I've tried to just put it as far in the past as I possibly can. And this was actually before the virus and all this other crap. We played them in 2019. And here's how that went. Right here, and we beat them 20-10. And you want to talk about an exciting game. Take a look at the offense. Passing yards. Jarrett Garantano was 6 for 7 for 106 yards and a touchdown. Garrett Schrader was 5 for 10 for 79 yards. They didn't even have 200 yards combined for the top two quarterbacks. That's a Jeremy Pruitt offense right there. If you want to know what ugly, terrible offense looks like, let Jeremy Pruitt be the head coach, and you'll know all about it. But let's go further into those numbers. Ty Chandler, 16 carries, 63 yards. Tyler Bird had 3 receptions, blah, blah. Here's total yardage, 357 yards. And we won with that. 357 yards. We do that in a half with Josh Heupel. If we had a game where we only had 357 yards, that would just be a dismal offensive performance. That was in a winning game for the Vols. And let me show you what our record was after that victory. Right here, 2-4. 2-4. Mississippi State went to 3-3. So we needed 2 more wins after this just to get to 500 if you want to know why I wiped out my memory of 2019 and won Jeremy Pruitt. Big dummy.
You big dummy.
Yeah, and in place of Mississippi State, I'm going to put Arkansas. We don't play them that often. I know we played them a couple of years ago, but I think Arkansas would be a fine fit for us there instead of Mississippi State, and that should calm everybody down about that. So we'll be going with Alabama, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Texas, Arkansas, Auburn, and Florida. And I'll cover this up with the other 2 logos. And again, I fully expect we'll meet Georgia either in the SEC conference game or in the playoffs. And I think we will be in the playoffs that year. That'll be our big year, I think, a chance for a natty. We'll have Nico will be in his second year. Our defense will have had 3 years to build. And you can see the recruiting, how well it's going. It's been outstanding, especially on the defense. I've seen a lot of progress. So anyway, I did want to fix that real quick because it was getting a little bit ugly. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like. Oh, we got a ball game at 6 o'clock tonight, and it's going to be on ESPN Plus against Clemson. Did you guys see that game last night? My gosh, I never thought it was going to end. It went 14 innings. It was that 3-run homer. He must have hit that. It was unbelievable. That looked like a Bo Jackson home run. That ball just traveled and traveled. It wasn't even, as soon as he hit it, I knew it was gone. I was like, oh my gosh, we got the lead. Top of the 9th with 2 outs. So that was really clutch. And then the first base umpire did everything he could to creak us. everything he could think of. He had to have 2 of his calls overturned, one of which ended the game, and then they had to get the game started again. He tried to give it to Clemson. So he was obviously a homer or just gave in to the pressure of the crowd. But anyway, if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover the Vols. And I will correct problems. I do read the comments. As you can tell, I read every one of them. If you haven't subscribed, hit right over here on the right. Just hit that little button. I would appreciate it. Cost you nothing. And right over here is my most recent video. Be sure to check that out if you haven't seen it. YouTube thinks you'll love it. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.